All right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Four Jobbers Podcast. I'm, of course, Brad, a.k.a. Ginger Heat, and I will be live on Love Wrestling's Quizplex Tuesday of next week. By the time you're listening to this, it'll be Thursday of this week. Hopefully you listen to it when it comes out. But anyway, Tuesday, you can also give me donations in advance, which will give me points, because I need a lead going into this, because I will get crushed. Also, Wheezy's going to be on it, and she's super famous. And so she's probably going to get a lot of donations, too. So I need donations, and I need to get some questions right. But tune in. Either way, it's going to be great, right? Because either I'm going to do really well or I'm going to fall on my face. There's no in between.
True.
Right?
I was listening to the last one, and it's very hard. So good luck.
I've listened to it before. I have listened to it before. It's very difficult.
It's not, I wouldn't even do good. They're crazy nutcase questions. So
yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll be guessing, shooting from the hip. But this week, we are going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about who is going to beat John Cena. Jordan's going to bring us through that. And then Waxman is going to bring us through the card of Saturday night's main event. The Waxy, the Venomous, the son of the dentist. They hate Jason. They love Jason. And, of course, the body. From Kirkcaldy, Jordan Deves. We are the Four Jobbers. We might as well kick it off. Jordan, let's go. Let's talk about John Cena.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just dive straight into it. Yeah, last week I had said that we should have a little think about John Cena, his last remaining months in the WWE, and what that might look like. I think at the time that we kind of brought this up, there was X amount of appearances announced from John Cena. We're now at a point where we have 24. So between now, this exact moment in time, and his retirement, there are 24 appearances from John Cena. Now, I guess 3 of them-ish we already know. One is this Saturday at Saturday Night Main Event. We also have announced that he will be appearing in Perth, Australia for Crown Jewel, which probably means he'll be on SmackDown around there as well. So there's 2 or 3 that we already know he's going to be at, right? So say about 20 appearances. That probably amounts to what, 3 or 4 feuds in that time, if you a chance to build them up and all that kind of pish. So my question to you, Jobbers, and I'm going to go round you, and I'm going to go through you, and I'm going to go beside you. Who do you want those guys to be? Do you have one in mind that you're like, I need to see that match again? Is there somebody you're like, I'd love to see that for the first time? Let's throw it out there. Is there somebody that could return or debut from NXT that you would love to see Cena fight against in his 20 or so appearances that we have? I want to hear from you guys, so tell me what you think. So I'm going to bounce over first to my favourite jobber, who is wearing plaid tonight. It is Wax Mamba. I want you to tell me, who do you want to see Cena face, and give me a scenario in which it would work.
Oh my! Well, if his previous feud with Randy Orton is anything to go off of, I think we have opportunities to do almost like a greatest hits for John Cena. Some of his most memorable feuds in the past that I guess are realistic. Not everyone's around anymore. Some people work in different companies now, but there is one that certainly stands out as kind of a reversal, because this person faced John Cena a little over a decade ago and also said that he would leave with the title. Mm-hmm. And so who better to try and prevent that from happening than that very same man, CM Punk. Of course. I think he has to be one of the last few feuds. I think, it's a big match that I would want to see. I think Punk has the wrestling chops to also carry John a little bit, which, let's be honest, he needs it a little more than he did in the past. How would this work? I mean, you have the story planted right there. Punk came out after Elimination Chamber and cut a pretty shoot-style promo on Cena, on The Rock, and on someone else that I forget. So I don't think you really need a way to pull that off. No. I think once Punk gets out of what he's doing with Heyman and Seth and... Who's he teaming up with?
Bron, not Braun Breaker. Sami Zayn?
Punk and
Sami Zayn.
Sami, yeah.
Sami Zayn. I don't think that's a long-term thing for Punk. I think maybe around Survivor Series, when it gets a little more desperate, that they need somebody. That's the other thing with Punk, is he's always kind of, same with the Bloodline Civil War. Something's got to be in it for him. Not a favor. I don't want to do another favor. But
sexual or not.
You want a chance to really main event WrestleMania, not just the night one, not just the kind of throw-in match. Well, you won't be able to do it if there's no championship belt to compete for.
That's true.
So do it to protect yourself for later. I think they can have a great match in the late summer, early fall. Singles match. I think Cena should still win. I don't think Punk should be the one to take the title off of Cena.
Okay, we'll come back to that point.
But that's the first name that came to mind for me.
Nice, yeah. I kind of thought of Punk as well. I am expecting at some point they'll have a run in. Again, you mentioned the greatest hits. I think that's kind of what this feels like it's been gearing up to so far. I think there is going to be a bit of a mix in here. But if we move over to Brad, is there somebody in particular that you would love to see that is not a greatest hit moment, that might be Cena pulling another superstar up, or a superstar that's maybe kind of messing around in the mid-card that you're thinking, actually, I'd love to see them just brought up that little bit with maybe a few back and forth promos with Cena?
Yeah, for sure. And so I've been thinking about this since we talked about it last week and trying to figure out who is that guy, because I sort of based this on a couple of things. One, we said who's going to beat John Cena, right? So who's going to take this title off of him in this reign? And the storyline seems to be that he's going to leave with the title and all of this stuff. So who's going to be the one to save the title, all of this? So, obviously Cody Rhodes comes to mind, things like that, if the story is right. Cheers, Jordan. Enjoy that Oben. That looks delicious. But, I mean, if it was really up to me, and then I was like, okay, well, out of all the young people, who's the new ruthless aggression person that's going to come up, right? And I haven't watched NXT that closely, even though I've been tuning in here and there. There's a couple guys on there, sure, but who is that person that's going to have the crossover, that's going to be mainstream appeal? Because I'm not just talking about someone who can step up and be a great wrestler or even a champion, right? We're talking about someone who could be the face of the company as a heel or a babyface, I don't know yet, but it's really, really hard. And I don't think there's one of those on the roster at the moment, or they haven't peeked through yet, at least for me. I haven't been able to be like, yeah. Like we did on this podcast years ago, and we're like, Liv Morgan has something, she's on NXT, she's going to be a star one night. Boom. Right? There's here and there we've called it. I mean, the shirt that I'm wearing now, Old School Karrion Kross, when he was on NXT, we thought maybe this is the guy, right? Or at least he's going to be a giant champion, but maybe he's coming back around. The shirt's back in vogue, right? So I don't know, maybe. But my choice, if I could choose anyone, now there's a caveat here, but if I could choose anyone on the roster who could save the company, who's coming out and is going to beat John Cena, my choice would be Kevin Owens. Now, we don't know if Kevin Owens will be able to go a year from now. We don't know if he'll ever be able to go again. But Kevin Owens, I think, would be the perfect choice to step in, have everyone behind him, put on a crazy match. I think no matter what, Kevin Owens would make it special because he will do a lot of the work, right? He will do everything he can to make John look good while still being an incredible wrestler himself. So the choice that I would really love to make is Kevin Owens. But again, we don't know if that technically would even be possible, right? So,
yeah, I mean, maybe not. But I guess, as Wax was saying, there's definitely a backstory there. One of the greatest storylines from the last kind of 10 years or so is Cena defending his US title, and then out walks KO as NXT champ, and that was unbelievable. Like, if there was ever a way to bring somebody up from NXT, debut on the main roster, and absolutely kill it, that was how you did it, right? So there's definitely a backstory there, and maybe we could see that resurgence. So I like that pick. That's a gooner.
I've got other ones, but I'm going to save it till everybody goes, and then we
course.
can shoot out a couple names, and I want to see what you guys think of them.
Well, let's move over to the bearded legend that is They Hate Jason, this week known on the podcast as Le Petit Fleur, in my
Petite.
best French accent.
Merci.
I want to know who you want to see John Cena face, because you're always the one that comes up with something a little bit rogue. I'm half expecting you're going to say Tatanka or something like that, but who do you want to see Cena face in this 20 or so appearances that he has left?
And it's got to be someone on the roster, right? This isn't like fantasy.
No.
Well, someone who's currently wrestling, you can't be like Hulk Hogan or something.
Yeah, no one is dead.
That'd be great. He
Breaks
could come back.
I mean,
Actually, technically, he's still alive. I mean,
so it could be anyone that you think genuinely has that could come back and face Cena.
I'll say the first one that I would like, but then I'll say one that could actually happen.
Fair.
And the first one that I would like is if Cope took back his name, Edge, and went against John Cena, just because for me that was his best rivalry. Obviously, some people say CM Punk or Umaga or Randy Orton, even though they were begging for many years that they wouldn't fight anymore, Randy Orton and him. But I think Edge was his best rivalry. It was it felt so real. I know I was at the right time of being a fan, probably a little bit younger, and I was fully bought in, and Edge was doing his best work of his career, and John Cena bringing the best out of John Cena. So, and plus Lita was involved. So just seeing them rehash that incredible. Oh yeah, there's a live sex celebration too as part of this as well. I think John interrupted it.
Why Lita was brought up, but there we go.
John was kind of an asshole, even though he was the face. So it was like an old school weird face versus dastardly Edge. It was fantastic. But what
you
WWE
you just want to see that matchup, because you don't really want to see Edge as world champion. Do you want to see him like beat John Cena at Mania and then?
No, he doesn't have to win. John Cena can win, no?
And then leaves with the belt.
Yeah, that'll be the storyline, and they'll make something.
Yeah,
up.
that's what I mean. Like it would just. Yeah. It seems like
Edge
unlikely, but
lose.
it's possible.
Edge
Retire that belt with John Cena, like he leaves.
Yeah, maybe.
Start a new lineage.
That would be the ultimate compliment if that's the plan. But what they should do, because you said you want someone that is on the cusp of being like superstar or bringing out the raw emotions from the fans, and this match with Cena could cement them as the megastar the company needs. Well, the only name that comes to mind is Rhea Ripley. She should fight John Cena, and she should win. Some people would say win. I would say lose. But she should win and be the champion. Imagine that.
Wow.
Just because
That's
I know
a bold statement.
That's
I like it.
in the past I've said like I didn't want that, or I don't buy it, the intergender matches or whatever. But Rhea Ripley, the reaction she gets now, I know some people like say, oh, she wins everything, but then she comes out in the place, it sounds like Stone Cold Steve Austin's coming out. So the people have spoken, and she is special, and she's probably she's up there with the most popular wrestler in the company. You could say Cody Rhodes, but I think she's pretty damn close. And she's 26 or 7 or something. So you got something real special here. And going against John Cena.
What a choice, Jay. That's fire.
I was not expecting that from you, but I absolutely love it. I can see it now, this idea that you've got someone who, they win everything. Oh, they never lose. Rhea Ripley, I'm sick of seeing it. Well, she's coming up against a guy who, he never loses. He's always win. So let's see what happens there, right? So
He's cut a promo, someone with ruthless aggression, and then her music hits, and she comes
the
up.
place would explode.
The place would go insane.
Oh my god!
Actually,
because there's so many things that come to your head, like how is this happening? They're gonna do this. Like what the hell?
They're not gonna. Yeah. All right, I love it, Jay. Well done, great shout. I'm going to throw out some other names, and I just want to see your opinion.
What would be your one before we get into like your throw names? You got to do your one, or at least your like Jason, or like I did, kind of like your,
Okay, so I had one that came to mind. This is based purely on the fact that the back and forth promos have been awful or not great with Cena, but I think we've not really had them. Like we had Cody and Cena, but they never really went face to face. They kind of just, one was on one night, one was on the other. So we didn't really see them face off. And then with Randy, it was kind of the same. Like there was maybe a couple thrown in, but I don't feel like we've had many back and forward promos that are like, oh, he said that. Oh, no way. And he said that in response. Oh, and then he said that. So I went with somebody that I reckon could hang with Cena in a place where they were in the ring together having a tete-a-tete, as they say. And my pick was LA Knight. I don't think he's going to win that particular feud, but LA Knight and Cena, I think, would be a great kind of middle of the road of this kind of 20 or so appearances where John's, coming out, cutting promos that, you see, I've beaten a bunch of guys here, these are all pish, and that wee kid in the audience is a wanker. And then out comes LA Knight, and he's just like, Nana! And he breaks down Cena. They have a bit of a thing, and then there's a little feud at, like, I don't know. There'll be another. In fact, I think there's another Saturday night main event in July at some point. Maybe that would be the kind of time for that. So yeah, I picked LA Knight. I think that would be not one for in ring specifically, but for the back and forth between them. I think it would be sick. So yeah, I'm going to throw out some names to you and see what you think about them. I'll get your visual reaction as I give you the name. So the first name I'm going to throw out from Raw. Do we want to see John Cena and Gunther?
Yeah,
absolutely. On my list, 100%.
Okay, yeah. Wax has jumped out his seat like a very excited puppy. Talk to me. Why?
Well, I want to see Gunther fight everybody.
Yeah.
I really liked his little moment with Seth on Raw this past week. I kind of wonder if maybe he will evolve into a bit of an anti-hero type and be kind of still him, but a little less sneaky and he's not cowardly, but like a little, a little less underhanded. Yeah. And he's just, he can sustain a match with Cena, a physical match, a brawl, and as we've seen, he holds his own on the mic. I don't know that he would have LA Knight quality back and forth, but he can do it. Like he can hang in there. So sure. And you know what? If of all the names that people have mentioned so far, that is the one that thus far is I could see him beating Cena.
Fair.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Depends how you build it, though.
Fair enough.
The crowd has to believe it and buy into it.
I'm going to throw out another name. John Cena versus a returning Brock Lesnar?
I mean, that would be interesting, but I don't know what the reception's going to be like for Brock Lesnar right now. I don't know.
He's still on the roster. Like, he's still... technically, he's still there. It is possible.
Would you be upset in any way that if he was back, or would you just be pure like, all right, I'm down for this?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I would be very interested. Yeah. I mean, when he comes, he's like a special talent when he shows up. Like, and I don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, or like I don't know. I don't really know. So.
Yeah, same for me. I don't know all the behind-the-scenes details. I don't think anything's been, official. It's not in court yet or whatever it is. I don't know. So as of right now, I'd be pumped for that. Of course.
But also because, like, just storyline of it and knowing how controversial it is and just, like, waiting to see what people say.
Yeah, what are people going to do? Like, yeah. And by the way, I think a healthy Kevin Owens, if he wasn't, in this situation he was, I think he could beat John Cena.
Oh.
And take that title.
I mean, he should.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw this name out because Jason's gonna come in his pants. Here we go. What about this one? John Cena versus Goldberg.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't even think about that. That's a pretty good idea. I think a lot of people would hate it because they're both past not way past for John, but past their prime. But you'd be a little interested, no? Just to see how they book it.
My question would be why? Like why?
Yeah.
Just because you can.
Money.
No, not because you can. You got 24 appearances left. That's realistically 4 or 5 matches at most. One of them's R-Truth, which already is
And we'll come to that obviously in our predictions, but so we're aware that is not for the title.
Yeah, that's
still
weird.
That's then even more of a waste.
It should be for the title, no matter what. Either way, it should be. I don't think it takes anything away that it is. But let me throw out a name or two. Obviously, we did not mention Sami Zayn. I would love it if it's like a save the company type situation. Sami Zayn's involved in there. I think he can cut promos against John. I think he can go with them in the ring. I think he's all around incredible, obviously. So I think he could do it. But forgetting that one, maybe you're going to say this one, Jordan. But what would you do if WWE actually did it? And it was John Cena versus Logan Paul.
Oh.
They never fought. I feel like they fought. They didn't fight, right?
No. I don't think they did.
I think the difficulty with John Cena and Logan Paul, if that had happened 2 or 3 years ago, it would have made perfect sense. But with this version of heel Cena...
They would have
Logan,
he would have to turn face at some point in this thing, see the right, and be Mr. Nice Guy, and then as soon as he turns into
turn face.
I mean, if you just beat up Logan, people will cheer. Like if he beats up Logan,
it's true. Yeah, that would be the thing that would turn him face. Actually,
yeah,
it's true.
It would.
It's
be...
either I leave with the title or I leave it with Logan. What do you guys rather?
Yeah, what do you want? You take your pick. Yeah, fucking leave, mate.
Burn it.
I don't want to see that. I think it would be good, but a slightly less experienced Logan, which he's amazing, but versus a slower John Cena, I think that it's going to be messy. I don't think it would work, so I don't like it. I don't want to see that one. Don't listen to the podcast, WWE. Don't do that, okay?
Last one, I'll throw this out to you guys. At least last one. I have a couple more on the list, but this will be the last one from me. Actually, no, there's one other one. Damn it, I got to do two. Because obviously there's like Drew was also on this list. Seth, you could also make arguments for these guys, right? But what if, to save the company, Dominic Mysterio steps up?
That'd be really cool. Yeah,
it'd be cool. But I don't see it.
He steps out of there,
face,
right? Like he is loved right now. John, he's cutting that last promo saying, "I'm leaving with it." Who's got the stones to step to me?
I think you have a better chance of seeing his deadbeat dad.
Yeah, true.
Be one of those last.
Hey,
few
Ray,
years.
he's injured just now, but he could come back and do it. Yeah.
And at some point, are we going to see The Rock involved in this at all?
That was another name that I thought of.
Because I think they're 1-1. 1-1.
Yeah, true.
A couple NXT names. I don't think anyone will come up from NXT ultimately, but Obafemi is the first one that obviously jumps up. This guy is
unbelievable,
a monster, and I don't think the person who beats John Cena needs to then become the face that runs the place. I think that's really Cody. No one mentioned Roman, by the way. Roman Reigns. I think he's a candidate just as easily as anybody else is. But Obafemi, I think he's the next... I don't want to say the next big thing because then that brings back to Brock. But he's one of the most Brock Lesnar...
He's so good.
...esque.
Good on the mic, good character, incredible wrestler. He's got it all for sure. He's on my NXT list.
If you have not had a chance to watch him on NXT, do yourself a favor because he's got the power, he's got the skill, he can talk, he's got the aura, he's got everything.
Well, tune into NXT Battleground this weekend.
This weekend.
You'll see Obafemi versus Miles Bourne.
Yes, that's an interesting one.
I've been following it. I've really been enjoying it, actually. It's been exciting. So
how about Ricky Saints?
Eventually.
Again, the promo work would be good, but
the promo work would be good, and that's what I was thinking of there. And I think he's good enough in the ring as well. It's up there.
There's so many that you could throw out. You want a bit of fun, and you want like a mainstream on SmackDown live musical performance. Let me see Joe Hendry versus John Cena.
Jason would love that.
Hilarious.
I thought you were going to say Elias.
No.
A little Joe Dirt versus John Cena.
Elijah did show up on NXT last week. He's a TNA talent, and he's the same guy.
Yeah. No, it's his brother.
It's his brother.
His third brother now.
Yeah.
The other two are dead.
Exactly. There we go. So quickly before we move on to the next thing, I want your opinion on. I think I'm not wrong in saying this. John Cena ain't leaving with the title. Someone's going to stop him. I don't think he's going to take that title. I don't think they want to kill the lineage of the WWE title. That makes absolutely no sense to me. So I reckon someone's going to come and save the day. I want to know very quickly, before we move on to Saturday Night Main Event, who do you think that person will/should be? Let's go to let's go to Jason first. Jason, who's going to save the company?
Man, the easiest answer is Cody Rhodes. Feels that way. He's been away for a while. Maybe he'll stay away for a longer while until we're happy to see him back. I know a lot of people will be, and that's pretty much to wrap up another story, another book of his, beating John Cena and saving the company.
It's a very short book. He just comes out like out of nowhere. Boom. Okay, now we got a little quick promo.
Yeah,
quick book,
next.
quick book.
Wax.
Yes.
What do you think?
Say Cody.
You thinking Cody?
You know what? I'm gonna change it up, and I will say, you know what? I'll go back and say Roman.
Nice.
I think it would kind of be a nice full circle. The guy who was hated for so long because they tried to force him as the John Cena replacement kind of now organically takes the place, and people love him for it and they welcome it. So that'd be kind of nice.
Nice. Brad, what do you think?
The soon-to-be Grand Slam champion himself. Not Grand Slam of titles, Grand Slam of female superstars. Dominic Mysterio is going to save everyone. He's going to save the universe. He's going to get the title. He's got all 4 girls. He's got the Infinity Stones. He can't be beat. That's what they're saying online. What is it? Rhea, Liv,
his wife.
His wife.
Yeah, his wife's
real wife.
Roxanne Perez.
Roxanne Perez, yeah. Fair. Click. And their pants fall off. No, forget that. I'll edit that out.
Hey, if you're Dominic Mysterio, you got the power. It's not you.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
not saying
that's
he
it.
should abuse
That's
it.
it.
He's just...
It's that mustache. He's so sexy, you know.
That's what it is.
Okay, my prediction, I'm going to side with Jason. I think it kind of has to be Cody. He's been away long enough that when he does come back, everyone's going to be like, oh, I love your hair. My only query in all of this that's happening, does Cena retire as a heel, or does he have a change of heart and become face just before the end? I guess we will find out in time. The next step on that journey is against R-Truth at Saturday Night Main Event in a couple of days as we are recording. So I'm going to hand over to Wax. Thank you for participating in my little bit, that little nugget of pish.
We love your little bit.
Thank you.
Little
It
bitsy
is
bit.
small, but it does the job. So Wax, why don't you take us through the Saturday Night Main Event? What is it? 39, I believe. No, 30.
30 matches?
No,
It's
no.
XXXIX.
39.
39.
39.
39th main event.
Main event.
There you go. Wait, what? What do you mean 36?
37.
Are you just saying things there?
41.
I don't know.
Brilliant.
you saying?
Right, let's talk
Okay,
about
yeah.
by the way, Saturday Night Main Event, before we get into that, is held in the Youngling Center, which is where the Thunderdome was. Just
That's right.
Oh.
fun
Youngling
little-
is also a very old beer brand.
Yes.
Is it good beer?
It's decent.
It's also the
Decent.
name given to all the children that Anakin Skywalker killed in Star Wars Episode 3. Younglings.
Younglings.
Yeah.
Well, in honor of them, I suppose we should get on with this card. So, okay. Now, I'm going to just go in the beginning. The beginning order, starting with the one... Oh, my God. The one on the bottom.
What's the
There's
first
four
match?
matches, and I'm starting with the lowest match on the card, and it is a steel cage match. It is a blood feud of all blood feuds, and it's Damian Priest versus
Damian.
Drew McIntyre. And so, as our resident Scot, and thus Drew McIntyre stan, if you will,
Fair.
Jordan, are you going to surprise nobody and pick your countryman?
Well, do you know what? I was thinking about this, and I knew you were going to say this, and that's why I absolutely will be picking Drew McIntyre, because it's obvious that Drew McIntyre is going to win. He can't get beat by Damian in a cage. That's just mental. I'm not having it. Damian, get out. In fact, stay in the cage. Drew will go out. That's how it should end, with the door. Because we know that everyone loves the door of a cage.
Door.
So.
Door.
No, I think Drew's going to win. Of the two of them, who's more likely to then be catapulted up further? It's Drew. I think if Damian wins, it doesn't do an awful lot for him. There's just something about him that, for me anyway, he's just right above the mid card between the main title picture. But I think Drew kind of weaves up and down a little bit. So I think Drew needs this more. I want Drew to win. Not just because I'm Scottish.
But also,
But also
slightly
because I'm
because,
Scottish. Yeah, I'm biased as I am. Yeah.
So, how many times have these guys fought already?
I think
That's a really weird pause there.
four?
Why'd you guys? I thought usually Wax would say who's up next.
no, we're done.
you could, no. It's I just choose the first person, and you jump in. It's,
This is the third time.
This
No,
is the
rubber
third
match.
time.
Yeah, I
they
think
won
it
one?
is.
I think
Trying
they're
to figure
one.
this. No, is
You
there
don't
like
count.
isn't there
Don't
like a
count.
website?
Don't count the fatal four-way.
What's that guy's name
Yeah.
again?
Damian Priest.
Yeah.
The Street King.
Yeah. The Archer of Wisdom.
Is that who you're picking, Jason?
No. I thought we were gonna look at how many times they fought.
Okay.
If you
Well,
can pull that up if
yeah.
you want.
No,
While
you
you
looked
pull
that
that
up.
up. Jordan, did you pick? Yeah, you picked. You picked Drew. Wax, what about you? Do you have a choice first?
I'm going to echo what Jordan said. I think Drew needs this win. He's put up such great work in the last several feuds he's been in, and he's come out the loser in a bunch of them. I think he needs this. First of all, the Street King is actually one of the worst nicknames because it sounds like streaking.
It sounds like streaking. Yeah.
Streaking.
Streaking.
The Street King. Because of that, I think exactly as Jordan said. I think this win will do more for Drew. I think he still needs legitimize himself is the wrong word, but I think he needs a win to add more credence to his case. That when he does eventually jump back into a main title picture, it's like, yeah, well, of course, because he's beating the shit out of people.
Yeah.
So I'll pick Drew as well.
And so the last match was the street fight, right? And Drew won the street fight. So now we're getting another match in a cage. This
should be the last time these guys face off. I hope.
Yeah, at least for a little while, right? Give it a break, I would hope. I honestly don't know which way they're going to go with this. Does either one have any? Neither one really has any feuds going on with anybody else, right? There's no one's going to run in. Nothing's really going to happen. Drew's not feuding with anybody. They're feuding with each other. I don't know. I really don't know. I guess I'll go Drew.
Oh, good man.
Everybody said Drew?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll go Priest.
Oh.
What are you going to do, Jay?
No, you had to go first. You don't get to wait for me.
I didn't want to go first. I know you were sitting there waiting.
What?
I don't know what
you
I'm
want.
choose.
You were talking for 10 minutes. Who do you want?
I don't know.
And Lasty.
Not sure.
You're not sure. Well, I'm going to pick Drew then.
Okay.
That's it. He doesn't need to explain it. He just, I'll pick Drew, man.
I'll leave my pick then. I'll leave it.
Which
We
is
got 4 Drews?
four
Yeah, we
Drews.
said,
Yeah,
Wow.
I'll go Drew. I mean, Like, yeah, it makes more sense maybe for Damian. He
Pain.
might need it more, but I want Drew, and I want Drew to win. Keep
You want
winning.
him?
I
don't blame you.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. There we go.
All right.
Streaking.
No shrieking.
Nice.
The
The
Archer
match
of
should
streaking.
end by just a gentle opening of the door.
Yes.
Whoa.
Fuck the door.
Oh.
All right, what's up next, Wax?
Naked
Yeah,
Damian.
okay, so now we have the next match, which is a singles match, not for the title, which I've just learned
Brilliant.
a few minutes ago. It's John Cena versus Ronald Truth.
This is the main event,
Truth.
right?
Oh,
Of the main event.
Killings, right?
Well,
I don't think it's the
might
main
not
event.
be. Might
It's
not
not
be.
the main event.
I don't think it's the main event.
Well, it's not for the title.
It's not billed as
Yeah,
the
there's
main
a
event.
world
Another
heavyweight
match
title
for
match.
a world
Yeah.
heavyweight title.
Oh,
It's not billed as the main event on Wikipedia. I don't think it should be.
I'm gonna go R-Truth.
I
Get out of
agree.
here. Fuck off. No.
Not for the title. That's deliberate. R-Truth's
Yeah.
going to win.
I still think John Cena will win, despite there's not being a title on the
Despite
line.
there be no being tied on the line.
I'm gonna go with our truth here. I feel like it won't be clean.
Yeah, no, of course
I
not.
feel like we got to set up for John Cena's next thing,
You
right?
guys are
Someone's gotta
working
be
yourselves
some
into a
jerk.
shoot.
Yeah, probably.
Jordan, you're galaxy braining this like you did with Randy. And
Give it like a beautiful 30-minute explanation. And none
None
of
of
it
not-
remotely happened.
Hey, I can't help
straightforward
it if I
fish.
manage to write WWE better than WWE. It's not my fault.
I mean, if Randy didn't get disqualified giving an RKO to half of the management staff, then
If they
that
brought out
storyline was
an
never
extra
gonna happen.
referee on time, if Michael Cole was screaming for a medic,
Nah.
no medic.
Yeah, well.
Cool.
Okay, so that was pretty quick. Maybe this
That's
match
what she
will
said.
be will make us think more. Let's find out. It's it's a tag team match
Is it?
between CM Punk and Sami Zayn. They're on the same team,
Brilliant.
and then the other team is Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker.
Do they have a name yet?
Neither
No.
group has a name.
No names.
No real
just-
tag teams here.
Just normal men.
Just typical
just-
average.
Yeah,
Friends.
We're just normal men. Jason,
Well,
what is your read on this?
CM Punk and Sami Zayn they're not going to win. I'm going to go with Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker because they're a new faction. They need this is a win that they can get that makes them look a little, more intimidating. It doesn't mean too much, and we can continue the story. It doesn't take too much from CM Punk or Sami to lose here, and maybe they introduce a third man. Maybe something happens to progress a storyline of some sort. Because I think this Saturday night main event is is mostly just like this gimmick, like pseudo special Raw weekly episode.
Yeah.
So it's just supposed to be fun, and we're mishmashing tag teams and people in storylines together. And I don't mind it for this kind of event much more than like an actual PLE. So yeah, let's give it to Seth and his friends.
Seth and friends.
Seth and Cole. Yeah.
I echo that one for sure. I don't see it going to these guys. I don't know. Maybe it's Saturday night's main event, so it doesn't matter, right? It's not even it's like one of these things that's not canon. It's like a live show that's boosted up. I don't know. Fun card though, and that's what I think.
Yeah, I'm going Seth and Braun as well. There's been a lot of chat about the third man. Hey, Sami could be the third man.
No.
God,
Sami
imagine-
I just does that make
Sam-
any sense though?
No,
I mean, Sami
it
and
doesn't.
Seth are buds. That
Yeah,
has
that's
been
true.
established for a long time.
He doesn't like Punk, right? Like he's not a Punk guy. He's just like
Exactly.
neutral.
That'd be
So,
crazy. That would be nuts.
Maybe Seth has, hey, Sami,
But the-
come on, be my pal.
But how does he explain it? Did he just turn evil? Like, oh, I'm evil Sammy now, or like, I don't know.
Puts on a goatee.
He'll have to say like he
I don't
truly
know.
believes in Seth. Seth is
Seth's
the
my
guy.
pal, and Punk does
He's
something
very
in the
susceptible
match
to,
that pisses him off.
To, what's it called? Cults.
He's
Yeah.
very loyal to
We all
his
can be.
friends.
Yeah.
So
Y'all can be loyal.
I don't know if
Loyal,
that's
liable
necessarily going to happen, but it's definitely a theory. But I'm going Seth and
Austin.
Breaker.
Austin. Theory, Austin. Yeah, okay. I'm also going to go with Seth and Bron. Is Jesse the Body commentating?
I believe so.
Jordan, have you pursued
I hope
him
so.
In legal action? For
Body
the
versus body.
He probably
No,
should.
but
He's a lawyer.
Yeah.
I mean, we can try.
Yeah.
But as long as he doesn't come to Kirkcaldy, we'll
Sure,
call
you're
it.
just a body in Kirkcaldy. You step
Exactly.
outside of Kirkcaldy,
The
you're
local,
nothing.
the local body.
Yeah, I'm a nothing. I'm a nothing outside of that. And even when I'm in Kirkcaldy, I still get
Even then, it's kind of questionable.
toilet paper thrown at me. So
Yeah.
I mean, if Jesse's ever in the same town as you, he might
I'm
going
going
to
kick
be
his
the body.
ass. I'm going to absolutely take him out. I don't
Big
care what age he
friendly
is.
Bruin.
I'm going to give him an elbow supper and ask him if he wants salt and sauce with that.
I'll announce you.
There we go. Thank you.
You just walk up and clock him.
So
The walking clock.
Walking clock.
So with that.
You just feel like at a signing somewhere at like a Comic Con, and I just run up to him and just dive over the table and smack an elbow in his pus. Just kill him.
As I'm screaming in the background. Yeah.
Sounds good.
well,
Let's do it.
I think that brings us to our final match. It's a singles match, and it's for the World Heavyweight Championship, and it's going to be Mr. Paul versus Jey Uso, who is the champion currently, and Logan Paul is not currently the champion. But will that change,
Oh,
do you think, Jordan?
will it fuck?
I don't know about that.
No.
Will it comma or just will it fuck?
Will it?
Will it fuck? I don't know. Grammar. I don't know. Fucking
we all-
know. No, the title is not changing hands. Jey Uso will retain. I actually don't know what I want for this. But I think it makes more sense for Logan to just piss off
Win.
again.
Oh, sorry.
Although in saying that, Logan versus Gunther. Shit. Now that I've thought about it.
It would be an easy way to transition the title to Logan,
Yeah.
because there's another, Money in the Bank is coming pretty shortly after.
Nah, I'm not. I'm normally the one that says the things that are mental, so I'm sticking with it. Jey Uso retains.
Jason, do you want to see Logan win, or do you think it would kind of ruin Jay's story and ruin what they're doing with Jay?
I do want to see Logan be champion at some point. I just don't know if it makes sense right now, because Jay is insanely hot right now. Why are you just going to snatch it away from him at a random show, maybe to chase it and win it back or something? I don't know, but it just doesn't feel right at all for him to lose it right now. No, and I don't even care if he keeps it long term, but right now, no. But the heat Logan has is great, because it's so easy to hate him, mostly more in real life probably than kayfabe. But he's so damn good, and he's taken to the business faster than anyone I've ever seen, I think. I don't think that's too crazy to say. And so people hate in the back. I mean, Kurt Angle was a professional wrestler, or like an actor, whatever Olympic wrestler.
To the business.
Yeah, to the business.
You could make an argument. You could make the argument for Kurt
still
Angle.
some
It's not a for
training
sure
there.
thing. You could make the
Wrestling
argument
training.
for Jake Paul as well. You could make the argument for Bad Bunny, but I think you do have a point with
No, not
with
Bad
Paul
Bunny.
Fizz.
Kurt Angle for sure. That's a good example. But yeah. And so as much as they hate him, they know how damn good he is, and that's why he keeps getting these big, high-profile matches, because people want to go against him. It's a memorable, special type
He
of
sells
match.
shit. He sells shit.
And he sells. He does everything really. I'm trying to find something, but it's all so good. He's not perfect, but he
The
puts
only
on
issue
great
is him as a
matches.
person. Yeah, that's the main issue. But
The
you're
per-
right.
well, yeah,
Otherwise,
that helps with the heat.
Do
I
they
guess.
care about
Yeah.
Saturday Night's main event enough to take the title off Jey Uso and put it on Logan? Because if him winning the title is massive news. It's going to be huge, and I don't think that Saturday Night's main event, needs that kind of
It'd be
shine.
really surprising. I don't know.
It would be, and that's why it would get a lot of talk. But you think that's going to do they need people to tune into Saturday Night's main event that badly for the next one?
No, they're just trying to trick us. That's why they had Gunther talking to Logan. They had Seth talking to Logan.
Well, these guys can interfere in the match for sure, and that's what causes Logan to lose. You have Gunther come out and punch him in the head.
I think Gunther wants to
Or
fight
the cock.
Uso for the title, I think. So
Yeah, probably. I'm going to pick Jey also. It's not the time. It's not the time. For
Nor
reasons
the
you guys all
place.
said.
Not the
Nor
time, nor the
Yeah,
place.
get out of here, Logan. Yeah, freak. Go back to Ohio.
Sick
Ohio.
trains.
Sick train.
Yes.
Well, that's
Well,
it. Are you guys gonna lock into this one? Are you excited to tune into it live, or is it more of a next day?
no way, I'm going to watch it
Pass
live.
through.
I can't watch next day,
Unfortunately,
Not-
I
not
will have
normal
to do
humans.
I will have to do a next day, or I will be wedding it up.
This guy's always got
Um,
weddings every
Oh,
week.
literally, everyone's getting married.
Comes in bunches.
Arseholes. How dare they? So yeah, shout out to Cam. He'll be he'll have listened to the pod by the time
Cam
Legend.
Newton.
he gets married. So Cam,
Cam Purdy.
congratulations
Brock
on
Purdy.
your wedding. I will be there.
Cam
Probably.
Ward.
Not that one. Yeah. So I'll watch the
James
next day.
Cameron.
Nice.
Cam,
I did say
Cam
to him,
Bigelow.
"Are you going to have it on?" And he said, "Oh, we can do it next day, like we did at your wedding." I was like, "Aye, good man, get it on."
Nice. That's sick.
So,
Let's go.
We'll see.
Couple things I
Oh.
wanted to really quickly mention. First of all, best wishes to Zoe Stark. Really nasty looking
Yeah.
That was
injury. But
Yeah.
oof. I wish her a very speedy recovery.
Bad times.
What do you think about JC or JC Mateo
JC Mateo.
instead of Jeff Cobb? Just the name.
So you said JC there. I was like, Jesus Christ. What do I think of him?
What do you think? Let's get into
Great.
it right now.
I think he's gone by that name before, right?
Has he? Okay, maybe.
JC
think-
Shaze.
Oh, yes. That's a.
JC Penny.
Ooh.
Shout out to Raj. Raj hates JC.
Already?
Shazay?
I don't have an
Oh, yeah.
opinion on him
Oh,
yet.
JC Mateo. I'm like, JC
JC Penny.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
JC Penny.
Well, Raj hates him immediately. He's like, this guy looks like a bum. It's like, all right.
Instantly hates him.
Okay.
You might
Raj
be right.
looks like a bum.
You might be right.
Not having that.
Takes one to know one.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
I don't mind the name change. I didn't know him that much before. I just the only thing that kind of annoys me is when he appeared at Backlash. They were like, "It's Jeff Cobb."
Yeah, that's
I was
what
like,
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you
Is
should
that
have
what they
sorted
said?
the
Or it's just
yeah.
That's
what
what
Maybe
makes
you
more
should have
sense
sorted
now.
the name before.
Yeah. I guess it was a last second changeroo.
I also don't know why they couldn't just keep Jeff Cobb. It's his
Yeah,
real name.
100%.
Maybe
But
that's
did
why.
he-
But also, it sounds really like a middle-aged businessman or something.
They need to own his rights because Jeff Cobb is going to sell that much merch that he's going to, like.
well,
we
you
have,
hope if you sign someone, you hope, right?
Like, come on.
He
Yeah.
has previously gone by. I think he has previously gone by JC Mateo. He's also gone by El Jefe Cabo.
Let's
That's
check
right.
that.
Been a better
Hey,
name.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's fine.
Michael
Sure,
Cole should
it's
start calling him that.
early enough. It's early enough that doesn't make a huge difference. But I just
Yeah,
don't
they could
get
change it back next week. No one's going to care.
Yeah, exactly. Call him Kef Job.
Kef
Long
Jones.
Tongaloa, and a bunch of idiots won't even know. So
Oh, yeah, true. Oh,
I had one other thing I wanted to bring up, but I've completely forgotten. So doesn't matter. Not that important.
well, there you go then. Back over to Brad to take us out.
thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the Four Jobbers podcast. At the Four Jobbers everywhere on social media. I can't, slurring again at my words. And we'll see you next freaking week.
And always smell your socks.
Next
After
Tuesday,
or
Love Wrestling.
before?
Check it out. Go donate. Donate
Chris
to the quiz.
Plex.
I donated.
Hey, did you? Let's
Yeah.
go,
Save
baby.
the
You're not
children.
very
I'm gonna
smart.
donate
and you
live
need all the help
so
you
I-
can get.
I'm going to save you when you're losing.
That's what my teachers used to tell me.
I'll donate,
Still
but make
true.
sure that the money goes to the other, or the points go to the other people.
Whoa.
You got to donate to the
Wow.
other person. Wow.
Yeah,
Great.
it's
Thanks.
in my character, you know.
Fucking
That's
rat.
what your character would do.
Exactly.
Write
Alright,
rat
fuck
in,
off.
see if they know who it goes to.
Yeah, true.